The stone floor was a familiar ache against Sister Lucia's knees. The final amen of her evening prayers whispered from her lips, a soft cloud in the chill air of her cell. Silence descended, thick and heavy as the wool of her habit. It was a silence she usually cherished, a void waiting to be filled with God's presence. But tonight, the silence was different. It was a held breath. The first sign was a sound so faint she mistook it for the ringing in her own ears. A susurration, a wet, dragging whisper from the direction of the simple ceramic basin in the corner. Lucia Ea. Her head snapped up. Her heart, a frantic bird, beat against her ribs. She crossed herself, her fingers trembling. "It is a trick of the mind," she murmured, a fatigue born of long devotion. She rose, her joints protesting, and moved toward her narrow cot. As she reached for her rough-spun blanket, it was yanked from her grasp with such brutal, invisible force that she stumbled forward. The blanket flew across the room, slapping against the far wall before slumping to the floor. Terror, cold and sharp, pierced her piety. Her eyes darted to the small wooden crucifix above her bed, her anchor, her solace. But the solace curdled into dread. With a soft, grating scrape, the crucifix rotated slowly on its head, coming to a stop upside down. The carved figure of Christ now hung, a tortured sacrifice to an inverted god. A presence filled the room. It was not a thing of form or shadow, but a pressure, a profound and ancient cold that leached the warmth from the air and the hope from her soul. It was listening. It had always been listening. "Our Father, who art in heaven," she began, her words a desperate truth. The whispering from the basin grew louder, not just her name now, but a multitude of voices, a chorus of the damned speaking as one. "Hallowed be thy name," they mimicked, their tone a venomous mockery of prayer. Lucia backed away, her hand fumbling for the rosary beads at her waist. The smooth, familiar spheres were a comfort. She clutched them, the prayers tumbling from her lips in a frantic, silent stream. "Hail Mary, full of grace." The cold intensified. It felt like fingers of ice tracing the line of her jaw. The whispers were inside her head now, coiling around her thoughts, suffocating her faith. "The Lord is with thee," the voices hissed, and she felt a tug on the rosary in her hand. She held on tighter, her knuckles white. But it was not pulled from her grasp. Instead, the string connecting the beads snapped, as if sliced by an unseen blade. The worn wooden beads cascaded from her hand, clattering like a shower of tiny bones onto the cold stone floor. They scattered, rolling into the darkness. A final, paralyzing cold enveloped her. It was not the chill of the night, but the absolute zero of the void. It did not push, it pulled. It pulled from a place deep within her, from the very core of her spirit. She tried to scream, to utter one last holy word, but her voice was stolen before it was born. Her form seemed to unravel, not into light, but into a fading mist, drawn into the inverted shadow of the crucifix. A moment later, the cell was empty. The only sound was the faint, ceaseless whisper from the water basin, which slowly faded away. The only movement was the slow, steady drip of condensation from the ceiling. On the cold stone floor, where Sister Lucia had stood, lay her rosary. The string was severed, the beads scattered in a perfect, silent circle. A testament to a faith that was heard, answered, and ultimately, taken. Pray all you want, but the evil listens too. And sometimes, it answers.